Shalom, this is Levi Shore. Welcome back to Sweet and Good Torah. So I want to talk real briefly about some of the great spiritual benefits that could happen today at this rally in Washington, D.C. for Israel. And, Bizrat Hashem, I pray that Hashem will protect everyone participating in the rally, and it should be safe and peaceful, and everyone should come home, in health, good health. One of the greatest spiritual benefits, I don't personally believe so much that this is going to have such a big effect politically. I don't know if it's going to change the opinions of politicians, but I think it could have a tremendous positive effect for the Jewish people. And one of the greatest things, it could start to heal what's called sinas chinam. So it means like baseless hatred for no reason. So it says in Gemara Chulin, that one of the reasons for the destruction of the Beis Hamikdash, of the Second Temple, was this hatred, between the different groups of Jewish people. And unfortunately, this hasn't been completely healed yet. And if we go really far back, we see with Yosef and his brothers, with Joseph, and the jealousy of his brothers, and it started a chain of events that led to selling Yosef into slavery down to Egypt. And it created what's called the Gullus. It created the first exile of the Jewish people. So this sinas chinam is what's created currently what's called the Gullus Edom, the Roman exile. And it's lasted so far for 2023 years. And it's Mr. Hashem, it's time for us to get out of it. But what an incredible thing that could happen today is if we have these same groups of different groups of Jewish people and coming together, and they can start talking to each other, and they can see that we all have more in common than the small things that are separating us. And we're all in this together, and we're all one people. We're all, one people descended from Abraham and Sarah, from Yitzhak and Rivka, from Yaakov and Leah and Rachel, and we're all one family. And if we can start coming back together, it's going to have an amazing spiritual benefit, and it's going to have an amazing, benefit of a protection for the Jewish people. The more united we are, it also starts to unite us more with Hashem, with our God. And then when we have Hashem's protection, there's nothing that can hurt us. So it could be an amazing thing, if some of those walls of sinas chinam, some of those like really artificial walls where Jewish people feel separated from each other, start to break down. And it can have such a positive effect. And all these rallies around the world could have that potential for that great spiritual benefit of breaking down the walls that are holding us back from uniting again as one people. Another thing that could be incredibly powerful is if the Jewish people all pray together as one people again, all the people at that rally. And there's great spiritual power when great number of Jewish people pray together. And then if some Tehillim are said, if some of the Psalms are said, written by David HaMelech, written down by King David in the Torah. And these also, the Tehillim and Tefillah prayer, they have amazing spiritual benefit because we're asking help from Hashem. And we're asking help from this infinite being, this all-powerful infinite being. And there's nothing that Hashem can't do. Even if all the nations of the world, Chas v'Shalom, were to rise up against us, if Hashem is with us and protecting us, nothing's going to harm us. And it's so important in these days where we just see these rising anti-Semitism. And it's just so sad seeing, in some ways, like the world rushing to protect like these killers from Hamas. And the world cries out for a ceasefire. And it's so unbelievably sad because Israel has gone through such great lengths they waited weeks for the civilians of Gaza to evacuate, and then there's been days of like 4-hour windows of opportunity and corridors for people, for the men and for the women and children to evacuate. And now, who's the world trying to save? Who's the ceasefire for? It's to save the terrorists, it's to save the murderers, and it's so sad to see. But there's great strength within the Jewish people itself. And our greatest strength is Hashem, our God. And it's so sad in a way that it seems like we forgot that. we forgot in some ways, and we need to B'ezrat Hashem heal that division, not only between each other, but to close and make a closer relationship between us and Hashem again. And hopefully this is the beginning. Hopefully all these events and positive steps start to bring us back together again, and start to bring us closer again to our God Hashem. And B'ezrat Hashem, may we see the end of horrible fighting and just horrible destruction. And may we see like peace and building and the tikkun ha'olam, the fixing of the world, bringing the world to the knowledge again that there's one infinite being that's created everyone. And not only are the whole Jewish people united, really the truth is that the whole world is really united, and all are created in the children of this one infinite being. Okay, I hope you enjoyed it. I hope to see you back again soon on Sweet and Good Torah. And B'ezrat Hashem, I hope the rally is peaceful, and it's a big Kiddush Hashem, and people see the kindness and the compassion and B'ezrat Hashem, the holiness of the Jewish people. Okay, talk to you soon.